Hello YouTubers, glad to have y'all back. I think we started on this maybe a month and a half ago, but you're going to see, instantaneously, it's the second part, I think, of this video series. So if you'll just watch the second part after you've watched the first one. I think all we did on this one was pull the tractor in and change the oil, if I'm not mistaken. And so now we're going to start the next step, which will be pulling the head off this thing, because we're going to go ahead and check everything, because the oil looks just like milk. But the problem is we're not losing coolant. So if we're not losing coolant, more than likely, what's going in there is diesel fuel. So I pulled the injectors out. The injectors are not working right. I've got an injector pop-off tester, but I don't know if it's even working right. So, I may have to send the injectors off and have them looked at and see, make sure they're okay. But it looks like there's a little seal between the injector housing and the head that might be leaking there. And I don't trust it. The thing started last year running hot, and when it would run hot, it would start smoking real bad, but we could just keep going. It wouldn't quit. And then we'd check it, it would be overfull of oil, which usually meant overfull of diesel fuel and oil in this case, because we'd take the radiator cap off, the radiator would still be full, so we're not losing coolant. So I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. This engine's got so many hours on it anyway. We're gonna go ahead and go through it and make sure that it's working right. So just stay with us. We'll start disassembling now and see how it goes from there. All right, first thing we're gonna do is pull the valve cover off. I hope y'all can see this on the video. It's kind of dark in here. I've got a light, but it may be interfering more than helping. I don't know, we'll have to see. Basically, I'm just gonna take these 4 screws off the top right here to get the valve cover off, so we can start taking this thing apart. I may have my electrical ratchet. Let me see if I do. I just take it off and make it back. I don't know if you can see that or not. The valve cover's got some weird looking stuff on it. It's not it's kind of hard to tell what this is. It's weird. It's like a I don't know, like a spongy looking stuff. I don't know. See, it's not on all the rockers, but the rockers are still in place. But you see this old film right here looks like a, I don't know, see that don't look like water in the oil. It looks like, I think there's diesel fuel, gelled up diesel fuel piled on top of that. This stuff's nasty too, but anyway, that's what it looks like on the rockers. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the heads off next. Should be taking the head bolts out. I tell you what, I may go ahead and get the manifolds off. It'll be easier probably to get this off by taking the manifolds off first. So these bolts down through here, we'll do them next. What I'm gonna do next is take this intake manifold right here off. 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 4 under there. You can't hardly see them, but I gotta take this little clamp loose too. So let me grab my wrench. I think it's gonna be easier to go ahead and take the injector lines loose here too. So I'll just go ahead and do that. I'm not sure the size of those. It might be 3/4. No, 11/16. Oddball size, but that's what it is. Get a little bit looser there if I can. Duck it in here because I'm trying to drip a little fuel. Not much, but there we go. Now we can get that out of the way. Yep, they're halves. I'll take them loose. Alright, we got that intake off there. Now I'm going to go around the other side and take the exhaust manifold off, because this head will come off so much easier with all that off there. Okay, what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of bolts that
are just almost impossible to get to and see that without taking this stack off. And these bolts here that are bolted to this manifold are so rusty. I'm not even going to attempt to take that off, because if I do, we're going to have nothing but trouble. So I'm just going to reach in here with a wrench and take those two that I can't get to right there. I can get those loose by hand with just a wrench. It'll take just a second, but it's a lot easier to do that than try to take that stack off. Probably not the way I should treat my socket, but a little easier to do that than try to take this manifold off. Hit it with a magnet, a little easier. There we go. All right, now we're ready to take the rest of the bolts out. I took that one and that one right there. They're almost impossible to get to, but if you look, there's also a coolant tube right here. That's got a rubber hose on it right there. Two sizes, big to small. I bet that's going to be easy to find. And then there's a metal tube goes down through here, and it fastens here and goes through. It actually fastens to the head here and in the middle. But I'm going to get the manifold off first, get it out of the way, and then we'll get that metal tube off as well. I might try to just pull it back out of the way and see if I can leave that hose on there. I don't know, I might need to replace that hose, but we'll see. We'll work on that. There's exhaust manifold. And that's getting a lot of room there. See, now we got to take these bolts out here to take this pipe across here off. Okay. Let's get those other bolts out right quick. And this breaks off here. I'm afraid coolant's going to run down right there. Let's see what happens here. Not too much. There we go. There we go. Now we got both sides undone. And all we got to do now, looks like somebody's put silicone on there. It's been apart before. So, all right, now all we got to do is take the rockers off. Take the rockers loose. We'll probably just lift the whole rocker assembly off the top. We'll take the push rods out, and then we'll loosen the head bolts. Head bolts are actually under the hood, under the valve cover, and outside the valve cover. They're going to be really tight. I might want to end up getting the impact to do that. So that'll be the next thing we need to do. All right, now we're going to take the rocker arms off. I think we can take them off all as an assembly. This is like a 3/4 on each end here, 1 3/4, 3/4 right there. I'm not sure if this small one holds the rocker arm assembly, you know, down, I think it just maybe, yeah, it just holds it together, I think. So all I gotta do is take that big nut right there off. I'm gonna use them. Hey, I did lift this whole rack out right here. Get it out of the way. And we got push rods. They got to come out. Now we're ready to take the head bolts off. There's a bunch of them. Bunch of head bolts. Let me get at that. Get that out. Should have all lifted out of there now. Okay. Now I gotta get this head unstuck. Let's see. Pry bar.
Hey, look up here. There's a little place right on this side.
Where?
On this side, it's got like a little indentation.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Alright.
So lose a lot of coolant.
We're still losing coolant.
Are we? Can you put a pan under there? Oh, it's free now. I think I can maybe turn it. It's big and heavy. Uh-oh. How about that?
What?
That's a blown head gasket. There's water in that hole.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our whole problem. Okay. All right. Set it sideways on it. No. I like the long way, but set it up on here. Let's set it. And put it all the way upside down. You should tie that in. See that gasket has got that orange?
Yeah, that's not original.
That's Velcro. There we go.
Somebody replaced that before.
All these cylinders are sooty, but that one there is not sooty. It's kind of chalky looking. I don't know why it looks like that. I don't know what the deal is. Why it would look like that. Okay, but we had water in the front one, which would have been that one, right? And I think we've got a blown head gasket there. What we got? Yeah, the water in that hole. Let me get this light so we can see. That's the two little dowels that lines everything up. But look at all that mud around that. See, that's just nasty. I think this sucker had a blown head gasket right here. Blown head gasket around this. I'm gonna look at that gasket a little better. And the sleeves are sticking up just a little. They might be supposed to. I don't know. See how these sleeves are sticking up just a hair? Mm-hmm. See, that's a sleeve that docks down in the engine. And it's kind of up a little bit. It may be supposed to be like that when you, I don't know. I hadn't done a whole lot of diesel overhauls, to be honest with you, but what I want to look at, let me get this light. Let's look at this head again. I want to look at this head real close. See if I see any indications of a blown gasket. Where's the gasket at? I wonder what that looks like, almost like fur. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like some kind of foam or fur in there.
Cobweb?
I don't know. Was the gasket on like, let's see, it was on like that. Yeah, just like that. So, see real good indicators of blown gasket, do you?
It's rubbed over there.
What I'm looking for is like where water here was leaked over into here. See, you know, like a place where it's blown, but it don't look blown. But see all that garbage, all that thick. See that? And see, that's built up on there. It's on that head. I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just around the edge of it. But that cylinder was slap full of water. That's why I think water was getting over in there somehow for some reason. We're gonna clean the head up real good and see. I'll do that later, but right now I'll leave that gasket later and we'll do that. So we got it off now. We'll clean all this up and come back to it and start reassembling. Okay, we've got the gasket off. I mean the head, and we've checked the gasket. But what I don't like is all this muck right here. This thing's nasty. I mean, all this trash that's in here. I'm thinking maybe something must have leaked through, because we got coolant right there in that cylinder. There's actually coolant in those two cylinders too. But I don't know. It could have been, happened when I pulled the head off. But it's not very likely it would have had that much water dump into there. I don't think. I think we got it blown the gasket here, so I'm gonna look real good at the block. All this will be cleaned up when we come back. The head will be cleaned up, and then we'll come back to this and be ready for reassembly for all this. And I'll kind of let you know what we found, because we might find something. Sometimes you'll find a crack in a head, or maybe even a crack in a block here. I don't think we got a crack in the block, but it's possible. Usually when you have a crack in a block, though, what happens, you'll have oil in your water. When you have a crack in your head or a blown head gasket, you'll have water in the oil. And that's what we're getting. We're getting a liquid in the oil. But I've always thought the whole time that it was diesel fuel, but I don't know. From showing you that past video a few minutes ago where we had this old gummy stuff on top of the rocker arms, I don't know. That just don't look like antifreeze buildup to me. So anyway, we'll talk about it later, and we'll go a little further with this video. We're not through yet, because I don't want to do all this cleanup with the camera on. So I'll do all this, try to clean it up, get it looking nice, and head it as well, and then we'll be back with this.